Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Hilton brings you new ways to stay, with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to High School Hoops with your hosts, Steve Collins and Jake Steger.
Make sure you go over and check out Dr. Dish too. Mention Coach Unplugged. They give you $350 off.
Purchase. And also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Go check them out. Become part of our community. Become a better coach. There's lots of resources. I know you have lots of options, YouTube, and there's other courses, and there's other. I get that, but you will not find customer service. You will not find a coach that will spend like yesterday or 4 days ago when I was on a Sunday call for an hour and 20 minutes with a Teach Hoops member. You won't find that in other places, not for this price. So go over and check that out. Also, if you want to help keep the lights on at High School Hoops, make sure you go over to www.teachhoops.com/Amazon. Make that your Amazon link every time you do a purchase, and we will get a small commission. We would really appreciate that. All right, let's head off to the 5 worst skills that a high school player can do during the summer. Enjoy.
Evan, we're laughing because we were talking about something off the air. So we're not laughing at you out there in wherever you're listening to this. All right, episode 37. What's this week, Coach? I got 87 for this topic, so let's go ahead.
Wow. I don't really have much, but I'll just kind of build off of what you're doing.
Okay.
5 worst things skills that high school players can work on over the summer.
Yep. Okay. So we'll do this as skills or things you can do over the summer. So I wrote it as things you do over the summer rather than necessarily skills. I have some skills, but I have things that you do. All right. So the first skill is to spend all this time on these 75 different moves. And it's nothing against trainers out there because I'm sure we have trainers that listen to this, but they don't need all those moves. It's similar to what we talked about last week. They need a move and a counter move, and they need to be able to dribble the ball really well. The cone and the ball and the tennis ball, all that stuff is great. They don't need to do it. They need to become good. They need to be micro good at a few things. So
right, I would like to see them be able to be doing what they're good at and then be able to read a defense against it,
Right. Right. A cone doesn't move.
Right. So if they're really good and they're being able to go left hand, let's add a defender on the offside and let's react to that. Yeah. 17 different moves and combo moves is because it doesn't really happen in a game,
Right.
Is it what you're doing in a game? Is it what you're doing in the off season? Is it going to really make you better in a game situation?
Does it correlate to what you're going to do?
Yes.
So doing all that stuff and watching the YouTube things, great, fun, awesome. Never. I mean, you didn't see any of that and one stuff at the NCAAs. It's just basic ball handling. They'll do some moves to get around, but that's it. Okay, so that's my first one. You got any?
Don't try to attend 500 basketball camps. I think often players want to go to 10 to 15 different camps, and they've done 100 different drills. Well, they haven't got good at one drill, or they haven't got good at one move.
Right.
And they haven't focused on what their weaknesses are. I think camps are good. I think going to one camp and getting a different voice and learning from somebody else, but it's what you do with it afterwards is completely what's the key,
It's me teaching you pre-calculus or algebra, and then you have to go home and practice it and do it.
Right.
Pick your camps carefully. PGC is an awesome camp, but
I'm not saying don't go to a camp, but go to a good camp and then utilize it and use it. Because the good camps, if it's a good camp, you'll be able to take what they give you in your suitcase and take it back with you and use it.
Right, and you'll be able to effectively do it. All right, so the next thing is the type of shots that you work on in the summer, if you're working on your shots, because obviously the last week it was like skill you should work on is shooting. The problem is, the weaknesses is these people are working okay, so my 6'7" center does not need to take 600 3-pointers in the summer, because he's going to have his butt to the basket most of the game, blah, 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 blah. Now, I think as a subcategory of this is what you work on is important. Shots are one spot that I see that there's really weakness, that kids don't work on the type of shots that they're going to get in the type of offense that they're going to run. If you're running the swing or the flex, what kind of shot? What coach is running a motion? If coach is running dribble drive, what kind of shots can I get? And the problem is kids just sometimes do what I told them last week and they work on the shot, but they're not.
Hey, everybody, I'm going to keep this real quick. I hope you're enjoying this. Make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Leave a 5-star review, subscribe, and like, and make sure you get these and go down and check our Amazon link. All right, let's get back to the podcast.
Working on the right shots. They're working on shots that are not going to make them better basketball players. So that would be number 3 for me, is types of skills and shots that they get up during the summer is definitely the worst thing you can do for your game.
I think playing too many games is not good for you.
Yes.
I think it's what you do. I think you can learn a lot by playing a lot of 3-on-3, going to open gyms, just playing the game of basketball. You don't have to travel across the country to get a better basketball player. You can play a lot of high school open gyms. You can go out inside and play the game. You don't need to play. What I mean by that is playing 40 to 50 organized games over the season.
Right.
Go be a gym rat in your own gym, or go to your local community and go play outside. I mean, you could play at 9 o'clock. That's fine, because you're not going to be the restraints of the referees and the constant all this and that. That's just so hard on a kid. It is. Just be a gym rat more than playing 50 organized games a year doesn't make you a gym rat at all. It doesn't.
It makes you want to have fun. You're wanting to eat ice cream for dinner. You're not wanting to eat your vegetables.
Right, exactly. So I think that, and again, it just takes away from us as high school coaches if our guys are playing so many organized games in the off season. I just think that.
Yep. And so that leads into my number 5th one is the worst thing you can do in the summer is not take a couple weeks and just shut down. Swear to God. I mean, you have to shut down and not do anything. I just think from a physical standpoint, a mental standpoint, and I know people are going, what are you talking about? I go, well, I think the worst thing is kids don't stop. They don't stop. They don't go spend a week at a friend's cabin. Go hiking in the mountains. Go to the water park with your friends. Spend a week and don't pick up a ball is the best thing you can do for your game.
Right.
So the worst thing you do is not take a break.
Or do something different, go
golfing. Pick up golf.
Yeah,
go golfing with your buddies.
If you have other facets in your life that you love to do, go do that. 1 year I was in high school, I was doing all these basketball camps, and then I was in student government, and so my student government paid for me to go to leadership camp for a week. Did I have a blast? Was that
Badger Boys?
I did that.
Yeah.
And I also did
my son's going to Badger Boys.
It's a great opportunity to build connections, to see other things, to do other things, build your other parts of you, because you just become rejuvenated and you start to miss it a little bit. And you got to learn to miss it a little bit, because if you're constantly doing it over and over, it just gets monotonous. It gets boring. and you become a better player by becoming more well-rounded person as well. So, going to leadership camp was just a blast. People I would never, if you constantly are in the gym, you're only going to be submerged around the same people all the time too. You are going to get sick of each other.
Right.
And, and they're your teammates, but guess what? They don't always fit your best friends. You should make time to go play out with your best friends,
Right.
If you got a lot of friends on a different sport team, go play with them for a week. Go
play laser tag.
Yeah.
Go fishing. Go do something different. So yes,
Right.
I agree. Okay, perfect. Be a well-rounded person is the takeaway. That's the takeaway. All right, coaches, you hear that? Your players. The thing is, and it's better for their bodies.
Don't take the fun out of high school. Don't take away the fun of
because they're only going to be there once.
It goes by really quickly, and it's just a fun time in their life, and let them enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because in the end, if you value that, they are going to run raws for you when it matters the most.
They will. All right. Talk to you next week, Coach.
Yep.
Bye.
Everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you leave a 5-star review. We'd really appreciate that. Also, if you want to keep these lights on, click down below. Check out teachhoops.com, and also make sure you check out our Amazon link, www.teachhoops.com/Amazon. That will take really good care of you, and it will make you come to our site, and then we will get a small commission. So we would really appreciate that. All right. Have a great Wednesday.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.